Good morning, everyone. Kenya Miss here. Today, I just felt inspired to talk to you guys a little bit about parental resilience, and it comes up after a long weekend with my boys, and I love my children so much, but this weekend was particularly trying for me, and so on this Monday morning, I've just been reflecting on that, and so just to give you a little backstory, so I had my weekend totally planned for me and my kids, and Saturday we're about to get in the car, and I look down and I have a flat tire. So I'm like, okay, this is something I can totally handle. It's a flat tire. I don't know how to change a flat tire, but I'm just gonna call my insurance company. They'll send someone. They will put on my spare, and then it'll be easy. I'll just go to a tire shop and they'll fix it. There you go. So everything went well with the insurance company. They came within an hour and he changed the tire to put the spare on. That was great. And then so I proceed to call around and find a tire shop that could do what I needed done. This is a Saturday, and like most businesses are still open on a Saturday. Well, apparently tire shops, they don't go by that rule. So I spent the morning and the afternoon trying to locate a shop, and most of them were either not open or they were overbooked. So a lot of places said, come back Sunday, but we can't guarantee that we can actually see you. So, and I'm like, well, I need to take my kids to school on Monday, and so yada yada. Well, a friend of mine, he's like, okay, well, you know what? Why don't we meet at a Costco, and you can use my Costco card and we'll take care of it. I'm like, awesome. So we decided to do that on Sunday. And so my boys and I go and we meet him, and we get to the Costco, and they've got my tires in stock, so it's great. They're going to work on the car. It's going to take about an hour and a half. So we decided, let's go into Costco and just, see what things we might need, So, the kids are okay at this point, and but we get into the Costco, and it was like they'd never been in a grocery store before, and they've been in a Costco before, so it's not like, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff. And somehow they just turned into these children that I didn't know, and they were loud and they weren't listening, and I did not do a very good job at parenting. I was sort of in this place where I wasn't feeling well already that day. I was fighting a migraine. I was feeling a little nauseous. So I had all these things going on with myself. And on top of that, it was like, let's test you with everything we've got, And so we're in this Costco, and then we come out of the Costco and we're waiting for the car. We still have some time, and they're just, bouncing up and down off the walls, not listening. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so my friend, a couple of times, he's like, let me take the kids and we'll go for a walk and give you some space. And I really, really appreciated that. And when that happened, I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm horrible. I mean, what does he think of me? He probably thinks I'm just, yeah, she probably shouldn't have children if she can't keep them together, for a few hours at a Costco. And I know I'm being too hard on myself, but these are the things that come up. And so after everything was said and done, and we finally get the kids home and they're in bed, and I'm feeling really, I'm mentally, emotionally, physically exhausted, and I just didn't sleep. I can attribute it to the full moon. I'm a little woo-woo, so yeah, I could totally be the full moon. But then I woke up this morning and I'm just so full of anxiety, and I thought, what is going on? And the boys, they were diddle-daddling about, their normal, just hard to get them out the door in the morning and finally get them to school. And I get in the car on the way back home, and I think to myself, what is going on? Why do I feel so anxious about this? Parenting hasn't up to this point been very hard, and when I say that to people, they're like, oh my gosh, you're just so lucky you have great children. And I do. My children are absolutely amazing. But what I recognize now is that they are going through a developmental stage. They are growing, their hormones are starting to surge. I have an almost 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, and my 10-year-old, he knows everything now, and he's his own person, and they start to bicker a little bit, and my whole count to 3 doesn't work anymore. And so I'm like, how do I deal with this? And so I think I've been so blessed with having these 2 boys who've been so loving and kind and just amazing beings, and they still are. But they're growing. And so with that, I have to grow. So there comes that, parental resilience, like where I need to take a step back and say, you know what, Kenya, this is actually not all about you. It is about your kids and what they're going through and what they're experiencing in their bodies and how their world is changing. And as their world is changing, my world is changing with it. And so I need to be able to grow with them. So I think understanding that and being able to meet them where they are is going to help them in the process of growing older and wiser, as wise as I am, So yeah, so if you have experienced this, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But this has been an eye-opener for me. I think we become so accustomed to live and to parent in a certain way because our children have been, for the last 10 years, my kids have just been super calm. And, and now they're like, all over the place. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they were super calm because I'm super calm, but now they have all this energy and I'm like, I'm still down here. I don't know if I can meet you there. So I have to work on that. Like in what way can I bring up my level of awareness and understanding for them as they grow older so that they feel supported and loved the entire way. So that's my little spiel for today. I hope that you found some insights. Maybe you can relate to it. I would love to hear your stories if you have any. And yeah, you can shoot me an email at kenya@kenyamoses.com with comments, questions, and all of that. So I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.